Shalom from Jerusalem. This is Israel at War, an update of the Israeli war against Hamas, which started on October the 7th. This is already the 86th day of the war, and also, obviously, the last day of 2023. And we will try to look at the war up to now and from now on from a slightly broader perspective with our guests, two distinguished brigadier generals in the Israeli Air Force, Doron Gavish of air defense, air and missile defense, but there is hardly any air defense to conduct and a lot of missile defense. Welcome, Doron.
Thank you.
And Relik Shafir, a fighter pilot, formerly the commanding general of the Tel Nof Air Base, one of the most important bases of the Israeli fighter force, but also of the helicopter force and of the search and rescue unit. Hi, Relik.
Hello.
Now, when Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th, there were more than 1,200 casualties, most of them massacred in barbaric, horrific acts. But out of that number, some 330 were uniformed personnel, military officers and enlisted men and women. And with 170 military casualties during the ground operation in Gaza, this means that the IDF has already suffered 500 fatalities in this war. And obviously, Israel is mostly concerned with the fate of the some 129 hostages in Gaza, awaiting a possible hostage deal, a second one, and hope against hope, some rescue operation by Israeli special forces to get out alive at least most, if not all, of the hostages. But because this is the very last day of the year, let's try to broaden our scope and consider the war through two additional perspectives. One, as part of Israel's strategic situation and doctrine, and then again, as against what is happening in the profession of arms around the world. Because we are almost 2 years after the start of the Russia-Ukraine war, we can judge it professionally, one may say. Now, it's very hard for us Israelis to look at this war emotionally detached. These are our compatriots, our offspring, sometimes ourselves. Nevertheless, let's try to do it because this is how people from the outside are looking in, trying to judge how the Israel Defense Forces and the Israeli government and society prepared for this eventuality, if they did, what lessons are to be learned regarding fire and movement and maneuver, the ratio of certain arms and branches when Israel builds its defense establishment. Now, for the view from the air, let's go to General Shafir.
Yes, I'd like to talk about zooming out and looking at it from a higher altitude in the sense that the Israeli strategy for the foreseeable past, if one may say so, was to encapsulate the Palestinian problem to Judea and Samaria and Gaza, and try to work with moderate Arab countries and create a coalition with the help of the United States against Iran, but leaving the Palestinian to a zero-sum game strategy, which means the weaker they are or more pacified they are, the better it is. Not try to solve the problems, not try to help the Palestinian Authority to get a stronghold over the territories, but rather leave that aside because of the right-wing pressure applied from the parties leaning to the right, who wanted to overtake Judea and Samaria and did not want the Palestinian Authority to have a stronghold there. That resulted in a lot of the military, the infantry, the regular units spending a lot of time in what we call military police roles in Judea and Samaria. That had brought, and the last thing was our effort to get peace or to get strategic alliance with Saudi Arabia. That had caused the Palestinians to feel that they are left behind, and Hamas built a very well constructed plan, which is very similar to other plans that we saw, the way the Japanese did in Pearl Harbor, the way us Israelis did in the Six-Day War, the Egyptians and Syrians in 73. And we were actually, we took the bait that Hamas had played in so many ways to be very pacified along the Israel-Gaza border until that fatal morning on October 7th. So as far as that is concerned, we have overlooked the zero-sum game danger in the close vicinity in lieu of trying to get a pan-Arabic support of Israel. That didn't work. And now we're faced with the proxies of Iran. Not that Hamas doesn't have its own motivation, but Hamas and Iran and Hezbollah and the Houthis as well, and some militia in Iraq have conjured up to attack Israel, rather than try to defeat Israel, is going through a war of attrition, which in their mind will eat away the strength of the Israeli society. That being coupled with internal political, I would say, disarray during 2023, it created a kind of a cavity to which the military failure fell. And right now we're trying to get out of this. How do you get out of this? I think Doron described it well, but the idea is a shock and awe. If we recall the 1991 American strategy, by creating such a shock in Gaza that will resonate through the Middle East on what can be expected if Israel is attacked. And we're certainly in the northern border in a position where we are held, so to speak, back by the U.S. coalition, because if we don't find a way to push Hezbollah north of the Litani River, or at least far enough from the border so they don't have a direct eye contact with Israeli towns and villages, this is still awaiting for us after we finish with Gaza or during that period. So we're in trying times, and the way we should think of this is a war of attrition on the one hand, but we're grinding Hamas in Gaza slowly but surely without too many casualties, if one may say so, which will eventually break them down in a way that they cannot be a military force anymore after this coming year.